and welcome to the April 12th meeting of the Downers Grove Village Council. It's my pleasure as Mayor Pro Tem to call this meeting to order. Mayor Tully is out of town and will not be joining us tonight. So I have the pleasure of chairing this meeting. Copies of our agenda are located on either side of the room as usual. Let's begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Would Village Clerk April Holden please call the roll?
Commissioner Waldeck?
Here.
Commissioner White?
Here.
Commissioner Vitimo? Here. Commissioner Jose?
Here.
Commissioner Olson?
Here.
Commissioner Barnett?
Here.
Mayor Tully?
We have a quorum. Is there a motion with regard to the minutes?
Member Chairman, I move that we adopt the minutes as presented.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? The minutes are approved. We now move to section item 4, public comments. This is a section for public comments of a general nature. Are there any public comments at this time? Seeing no one moving to the podium, we'll move on to item 5, consent agenda. Is there a motion with regard to the consent agenda?
Mayor Pro Tem, I move that the Village Council approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Is there any discussion from members of the audience? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner White?
Aye.
Commissioner Waldeck?
Aye.
Commissioner Vitimo? Aye. Commissioner Jose?
Aye.
Commissioner Barnett?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Olson?
Aye. That matter passes unanimously. Then we move to our active agenda. We have no active agenda items. Move to our first reading agenda. I'll turn this portion of the meeting over to Village Manager David Fieldman to present these items.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. There are 3 items on tonight's first reading agenda. The first is an ordinance considering amending certain traffic and parking provisions. Here to present information on this item is our Public Works Director, Nan Newland.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have 2 items that were referred from the Transportation and Parking Commission. These were both items that were brought forward by either business or residents in the village. The first one is on Warren Avenue in the area of Mayflower Tours at Warren and Linscott Avenue. This was brought up by this business as a concern about sight distance caused by parked cars on the south side of Warren Avenue, which currently has 4-hour parking restriction. We have an exhibit here, and I apologize, it's a little dark. It shows in dashed line the area that we are proposing to change from a parking for a restriction of 4 hours to no parking during the day. This recommendation was shared with the neighboring businesses. A couple of people came to TAP Commission. There was some back and forth, and we did modify this restriction to still provide the sight distance improvement and reduce the amount of parking that was lost because of this change. So with this proposal, it will be changed from 4-hour parking to no parking, and it would be loss of about 6 parking spaces. This item went before the Transportation and Parking Commission on March 9th and was voted unanimously by the Transportation and Parking Commission. The second item was brought forward by a resident of the Springside Condominiums, which is located immediately west of Downers Grove South High School. The roads are private, however, the enforcement and the maintenance of the roads are handled by the village. Currently, there's no parking anytime in the area shown in red, and on the other side, it is currently no parking 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. to deter students from parking in this area. There was a concern about the lack of available parking for visitors during the daytime, and as a result of that, there was a discussion at TAP, and the recommendation from staff is to modify that to no parking from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning. This will provide greater parking for the residents during the daytime, will still deter students, and will provide a window of opportunity for the police to patrol that if there's any problems with enforcement, unlike, for example, a 2-hour parking restriction, which would be more difficult to enforce. This is a similar restriction we put in other areas around schools and have found it to work well. This item was also presented at TAP at the March 9th meeting and was voted unanimously by TAP for approval. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you. Any questions from members of the Village Council at this time? or comments? Questions or comments from members of the public? Hearing none, we'll move to the next item.
The next item is an ordinance amending the 2015 budget. This is some great news, and our Finance Director, Judy Butney, will share that news with us.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Staff has prepared an ordinance amending the Stormwater Fund by $2.3 million. This ordinance is not a result of overspending in the Stormwater Fund, but as you know, the village budgets on a cash basis. So this amendment reflects the accounting entries that are required to record the cash transactions which need to be made for the 2015 stormwater bond refunding, which saved the village $520,000 in net present value savings on debt service payments. For the refunding transaction, an expense entry must be recorded that shows paying off the old, higher interest rate bond, and the revenue side shows the equal amount, which reflects the entry showing the proceeds taken in by the village for the new, lower interest rate bond. A bond refunding is very similar to a mortgage refinancing on a house where an existing home mortgage is replaced by one with a lower rate. And for your information, there is no amendment required for the general fund. As a matter of fact, we put $1.5 million in the bank by controlling expenses to the tune of $700,000 and better performance and revenues to $800,000. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Judy. That's great news. Any questions or comments from members of the village council? Questions or comments from members of the public? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next item.
And the final item on tonight's first reading agenda is an order of contract for the 2016 street resurfacing contract. Nan.
This contract is a component of the 2016 roadway maintenance contract, which is in the community investment plan. It is indicated as project ST004. It also includes a second contract you'll see in the near future, which is the MFT component of that work, as well as crack sealing, seal coating, and some patching contracts. So those items are yet to come. This is the first of the contracts for 2016 street maintenance. And it includes resurfacings of the streets. We have a list of streets here. We have 30 street segments we'll be addressing with this contract this year. It'll include milling of pavement, resurfacing, base patching, and curb replacements in areas where the curb has been damaged or deteriorated. This contract call for bids was issued, and we received 3 bids. Geneva Construction Company was the low bidder at a cost of $2,118,646, which was also under our engineer's estimate, which I think is reflective of the oil prices this year. Geneva Construction has satisfactorily completed work for the village in the past, including the 2010 contracts A and B, and paving in the 2014 Downers Grove Estates Esterbrook reconstruction project. And we'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions or comments from members of the village council? Questions or comments from members of the public? Hearing none.
That ends our first reading tonight, Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you.
Thank you, Manager Fieldman. Move on to item 8, Mayor's Report. There is no report. Item 9, Manager's Report.
No report tonight.
Item 10, Attorney's Report.
Thank you. I have 2 items to present this evening, both ordinances which will appear on next week's active agenda. The first is an ordinance amending traffic and parking provisions, and the second is an ordinance amending ordinance number 5412 in the Village of Downers Grove budget for fiscal year 2015.
Thank you, Attorney Petrarca. Council member reports. Do any members of the village council have items they wish to report out on? Commissioner Jose.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Excuse me, I just wanted to remind folks that the village has, in partnership with Accurate Document Destruction, is a paper shredding event this Saturday, the 16th, from 8 until noon here at Village Hall. This is a free service that's offered to village residents to help prevent identity theft. You may actually be asked to show proof of residency, but you can bring 1 brown paper bag or 1 banker's box filled with personal paperwork, and a bonded insured representative of Accurate Document Destruction will take care of that for you. Again, that's 8 to noon here at Village Hall on Saturday the 16th. That's all I've got. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Jose. Other members of the village council have items to report out on. Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.